So my story begins as I'm walking into the karate studio as a 3-year-old kid ready to start my first class. And so somehow this 3-year-old kid threw me into an 11-year commitment into adulting and responsibility. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. So I started off, as every kid does, as a white belt, learning and practicing, working on my technique and on my character, until I reached my next belt, orange belt. And I went to karate for about 5 days a week, every week for years, until I reached it to what most students consider the main goal in karate, black belt. And most kids quit there, but as I got older, around the age of 9 or around the age of 10, I began helping out with my instructors, leading and teaching, demonstrating out in front of everyone. And to me, this was a super big deal, and I got to be a really big help to the instructors. And as I got older, I began to get more and more responsibility, and with that, I stopped learning nearly as much. But it was all right, because I got to share the gift that I knew with somebody else. And eventually, about 2 years later, I reached the next major belt in karate, second-degree black belt. And this is when I really felt a shift begin to occur. My teaching slowed and my learning slowed. And instead of going to karate the normal 5 days a week, I went twice. And instead of the twice, it became once every other week, and then sometimes just not at all. And karate felt like it really lost its fire. It just wasn't fun anymore. And so as I got older, around 14, I found other things to fill my free time. And I went to a camp, and they call it a camp, but you basically go and you do yard work for a week, and it's a Christian camp, and it's called Ozark Mission Project. And Ozark Mission Project is only a week long, but it was one of the most powerful experiences in my life. I went to a different city, and I slept at a church, ate at a church, lived at a church for a week, and I did yard work and housework for people that couldn't. I built ramps for people, I painted their houses, and I did yard work, mowed their lawns and such. And it really helped me to know my Arkansas community better and learn more about everything as a whole. And I wanted to find the difference between karate and Ozark Mission Project and figure out why karate stopped and burnt out, and why Ozark Mission Project that still is one of the most important things in my life today. And I thought that it had to do with responsibility. That at karate, the more and more responsibility I got, the harder and harder it became for me to actually enjoy that responsibility. And as I look back at Ozark Mission Project, I decided that wasn't really true, because the leaders and the counselors at the camp, the people with the most responsibility, were actually the most enthusiastic for our projects. So I thought that I expected a benefit from karate, and maybe whenever I lost that benefit and taught other people, that I lost the fire for karate. And Ozark Mission Project, I didn't go and I didn't expect to get something from it. I expected to give to people. So I didn't think that was exactly right either. And I think that a lot of the difficulty here comes from the fact that both of these stories relate to service in one way or another. And serve at its roots is pretty simple to understand. We use it at least once a week, normally at a restaurant when the waiter brings us food. But maybe if we play tennis, it's a lot more, and there are over 30 definitions for the word serve that we could use. And there's some really strange ones up there. Handball, ecclesiastical up at the top, and this one right there, mayoralty, some that I'm not even 100% sure how to say, but they're related, so I don't think it's fair to leave them out. But there's two important ones that I'd like to take a look at. The first is to render assistance to, be of use, or help. And the second, which is a lot less positive, to do duty as, or to act as a servant. Now, if I were to ask for some help up on stage, I wouldn't be too surprised to see at least a couple hands. But if I asked, who wants to act as my servant? Right? I wouldn't expect that many. So I think this clears up a lot of the issue between Ozark Mission Project and karate, because I think one of these two people is a lot more important and influential than the other. The servant, or the server, has a much more important reason to get it right. They have a reason to serve. But the person who's rendering assistance or helping doesn't have that same reason. And I'd like to argue, and I hope that you'll agree with me, that they're more or just as important. And I think that this clears up a lot of the issue between Ozark Mission Project and karate. Karate was more of a teaching service, one where I learned and then gave to other people. Where Ozark Mission Project was something that I was giving a gift to someone. Instead of sharing knowledge, I shared a gift. And It's the same feeling that you feel on Christmas Day whenever you have that perfect, thoughtful, and kind gift that you give to your friend. Whenever it's sitting under this tree and the anticipation is building up. That feeling I felt every day at Ozark Mission Project. But at Ozark Mission Project, I heard some of the hardest news that I've ever heard before in my life. Somebody at the camp told me that one of our mutual friends from karate passed away that night. And this news rattled me. I was filled with shock, and the feelings of helpfulness and kindness from Ozark Mission Project dropped into self-centeredness and sadness. And these feelings of shock and sadness were spread throughout the whole camp that night, and we talked with some of the leaders and some of the counselors there at the camp, but it all really felt shallow. Nothing helped me to take my mind off my friend. Nothing helped me to take my mind off my sorrow. But they helped me in a different way. They helped me to realize that the people that I surrounded myself with, the people that wanted to serve others in need, wanted to serve me too. But they did more than that. They helped me to realize that my friends and my service can give me hope to get through the struggles and the times of trial in my life. And as I was writing this speech and having a hard time finishing it up, I just said that phrase out loud. My friends and my service gave me the hope that I needed in order to get through the struggles in my life. And as soon as I did, the strangest thing happened. A bright orange fox darted in 10 feet away from my window, stopped, paused, turned at me, and then darted off, and I haven't seen it again. And this was really strange because I've never seen a fox at my house before, let alone one that close. And to be honest, it gave me the hope that I needed to finish my speech, the key line that I was clearly missing. My friends and my service gave me the hope that I needed in order to get through my struggles. And it might seem a little bit backward, but serving other people helps you to be served yourself and getting through those struggles. But it might seem a little bit backwards and a little bit difficult, but serving other people helps you to be served yourself. Thank you.